My son told everyone I wasn't his real father because his stepdad earned that title. So I let him live with his hero, stopped funding his trust contributions, and watched reality teach him what I couldn't. His stepdad's frantic call 3 months later said everything. "Hello everyone. Welcome to Reddit Visuals. I'm Michael, 53, and I learned something painful these past 2 years. The people you sacrifice for are often the first ones to forget you did it. My son Evan just turned 21, and for most of his life, I would have told you we were close. Same dry humor, same stubborn streak, same habit of fixing things ourselves instead of asking for help. When his mother Caroline and I divorced, he was 9. She got primary custody. I paid support on time every month, showed up to every school event I could manage, and kept every promise I made. That was my definition of fatherhood. Then Caroline married Mark 3 years ago, the lake house guy, the Instagram dad. I didn't hate him. I tried to be civil for Evan's sake. What I didn't expect was how Mark would slowly position himself as the upgrade. It started small, picking Evan up early from my weekends because they had plans. Then the missed calls. Then Evan stopped reaching out unless he needed something. I told myself it was normal teenage stuff. He'd grow out of it. By 18, he'd grown out of me instead. The real crack came last Thanksgiving. Evan had been spending holidays with his mom, and I didn't push it. I invited him anyway, told him his grandparents were coming, his cousins would be there. He said he'd think about it. Think about it. Like seeing his father was optional. Thanksgiving came and went without him. A week later, my niece sent me a social media video from Mark's house. There was my son, champagne glass raised, making a toast. Someone yelled speech, and he laughed, a little drunk, and said, "To my real family, and to the man who actually showed me what a father should be." I watched that video 5 times. Each time felt worse. He wasn't joking. He meant it. I didn't call him. I didn't text. I just went quiet, because sometimes silence says more than any argument ever could. 3 months passed. In March, I got a call from Evan himself. His college housing payment had bounced. He sounded annoyed, not worried. "Hey, I thought you were handling the housing stuff. Mark said you probably forgot or something." I hadn't forgotten. I'd been contributing to an education trust since Evan was $500 a month for 16 years, managed through a financial advisor. It had grown to about $127,000. The plan was tuition, housing, a reliable car at graduation, and seed money to start his adult life. I'd been making regular disbursements for his expenses, but I'd never told him the full amount. I wanted him to appreciate it, not expect it. "I didn't forget," I said. "I've been reconsidering how the funds are used." "What does that mean?" "It means I saw your toast on Thanksgiving, the one about your real family." Silence, then a nervous laugh. "Come on, Dad. That was just... People say stuff when they're drinking." "You looked pretty sober to me." He got defensive. "You're seriously going to punish me for a joke?" "I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just reevaluating who I'm investing in." He hung up on me. That week, I met with my financial advisor and lawyer. I explained the situation. They laid out my options. I couldn't freeze the trust retroactively. It was already established with Evan as beneficiary. But I could stop making new contributions. I could also require that future disbursements over $5,000 need my approval as trustee, which was already in the original terms. Most importantly, I could just stop helping beyond what was legally obligated. So that's what I did. I stopped the monthly contributions. I stopped the automatic transfers for his rent and expenses. The trust stayed intact, but I wasn't adding another dollar. 2 weeks later, Evan called again, this time asking for $2,000 for a spring break trip. Mark and Mom said they'd help, but there's a delay with their payment. "Can you spot me?" I asked him one question. "When you said Mark showed you what a real father should be, what did you mean?" Long pause. "Why are you making this weird?" "I'm just trying to understand. What did I fail to show you?" "Dad, seriously, it wasn't about you. Can we not do this right now?" "Sure, but I'm not spotting you the money. Ask your real father." He hung up again. A month went by. Then Caroline called first time in a year. What's going on with Evan's trust? Mark tried to co-sign for an apartment lease for him, and when they asked for proof of funds, Evan couldn't show enough. He said you cut him off. I didn't cut him off. I stopped contributing new money. The trust is still there. He's just learning that money doesn't appear by magic. You're being petty. I'm being realistic. He has a real father now. Mark can step up. She got quiet. Then, Mark's not made of money, Michael. Neither am I. But I've been acting like it for 12 years. She hung up. Over the next 3 months, I heard bits and pieces through family. Evan had moved in full-time with Caroline and Mark. Mark got him a part-time admin job at his company. Everything seemed great for about 6 weeks. Then Mark started charging Evan rent. Teaches responsibility, apparently. Caroline didn't argue. She'd always deferred to whoever she was with. Then Evan's car broke down. A head gasket, $2,200 to fix. He called me, voice tight. I know we haven't been talking, but I need help. The car's dead and I can't get to work. What did Mark say? He said I should have been saving money instead of going out. Sounds like good advice. Dad, come on. I don't have $2,200. Then I guess you'll have to figure it out. Call me when you want to talk about Thanksgiving. I hung up. It hurt, but I'd learned that sometimes love means letting people face the consequences they've been insulated from. 2 weeks later, my phone rang at 6:47 a.m. Mark. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. He sounded exhausted. Look, we need to talk about Evan. He's struggling. His car's still broken. He lost his job because he couldn't get there, and he's not handling it well. He needs help. So help him. I am helping him. But he keeps saying the only person who can fix this is you. He's asking for you, man. Funny. A few months ago, I wasn't his real father. Long silence. Look, he's a kid. He says dumb things. You know how it is. He's 21. And no, I don't know how it is to disrespect the man who raised me. Can you just talk to him? Please? I hung up. The next day, Evan called. His voice was different, smaller. Dad, I need to talk to you. I didn't respond right away. He continued. Mark told me I need to move out. He says I'm not pulling my weight. Mom's not fighting him on it. I don't have anywhere to go. I let that sit in the air for a moment. What did you learn? What? From all of this, what did you learn? He was quiet. Then, barely audible. That people who say they'll always be there usually mean until it's inconvenient. That answer was the first real thing I'd heard from him in a year. You can stay with me. On 2 conditions. 1, you get a job within 2 weeks. 2, you contribute $400 a month for expenses. Not because I need it, but because you need to learn what it costs to live. Okay, no argument, no negotiation, just okay. He moved in that weekend. The first week was awkward. He stayed in his old room, kept to himself, polite but ashamed. Then one Saturday morning, I woke up to the sound of the lawnmower. I looked out the window and there he was, sweating through a t-shirt, cutting the grass we'd been letting grow too long. When he came in, I handed him water. He said, "Figured I'd start pulling my weight." That was the beginning. Over the next 3 months, he got a job at a local warehouse, started paying his share, cooked dinner a few times a week. We didn't talk about Thanksgiving. We didn't talk about Mark. We just existed together, rebuilding something that had been broken. One night we were sitting on the porch, quiet, and he said, "I'm sorry about what I said. The toast. All of it." I nodded. I know. Mark was great at showing up for the fun stuff, but the second things got hard, he bailed. You never did. Even when I was a jerk, you stayed. That's what fathers do. He looked at me, eyes red. I don't deserve the trust fund. You're right, but you're going to earn it. You've got 2 semesters left. Graduate, get a real job. Show me you understand what it means to stand on your own. Then we'll talk about the money. He nodded. Deal. 6 months later, Evan graduated with honors, got a job offer before he even walked across the stage. The day he signed his offer letter, I transferred $20,000 from the trust into his account with a note, first installment. The rest comes when you've been financially independent for a year. Proud of you. He called me crying. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. Just keep going. Last month, Mark called again. I didn't answer, but I listened to the voicemail. Hey, I heard Evan's doing well. That's good. I just wanted to say you were right about a lot of things. Anyway, take care. I deleted it, not out of spite, just because I didn't need it anymore. Evan and I talk almost every day now. He's building his own life, making his own choices. And when he introduces me to people, he doesn't say stepdad or qualify it. He just says, "This is my dad." That's all I ever wanted. So here's my question. Was I wrong to step back and let him struggle instead of bailing him out? Should I have swallowed my pride and kept funding everything regardless of how he treated me? Or was letting him face reality the only way he'd ever understand what I'd been doing all along? Let me know in the comments what you think. Was I not the a-hole, or does everyone suck here? I genuinely want to hear what you would have done. If this story made you think, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow and brings more real stories about family, respect, and what happens when people take you for granted. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.